Hello and welcome to another episode of We're Not Nerds. First of all, we have a new member to the group. Welcome, Philip.
What up?
Today we played a game called Survive the Deus Helix, which is a puzzle game for the HTC Vive. So it's a little bit similar to other games we played, like
Chair in a Room.
Chair in a Room. You got yourself locked in.
Seriously?
Yep.
And every other HTC Vive puzzle game that's
Similar
ever been
so
released.
far. Yeah, but I mean, so I like this one a lot. So before we even get into any spoiler territory, basically you play as an agent who's looking for these DNA strands, basically. You'd actually die in the beginning, and then some agent comes to you and says, hey, I'll give you your life back if you can find all of these things for me.
Fantastic find, Agent. That helix sequence is quite a rarity and unknown to most other helix hunters. Archive it.
And what's cool about it is that it takes you to different time periods. Like you start off in Chicago, sort of current time period, and then the next one you're all of a sudden like a futuristic world. And I thought that was kind of cool.
Or different planets.
Yeah, using that as a mechanism to take you to different areas where it's basically like a room escape thing, right? Figure out the different stuff in order to finish that area. So it's basically open up drawers, find a new item, use that item to get through the next door, things like that.
Yeah, so Philip, since this is literally the first time you've ever played an HTC Vive or any VR kind of game, what'd you think of it?
Awesome, putting me on the spot right away.
Yeah.
So I actually really did enjoy the HTC Vive. I want to say that I enjoyed kind of the games that we played with for the Oculus just now, not 2 moments ago before we started shooting this. But going back to the actual puzzle game itself, I thought it was actually a lot of fun, just kind of walking around. I mean, Tom was shooting a lot of hints off, but
yeah,
I mean,
I played it through.
You had a lot of experience before, but I mean, you kind of get caught into kind of searching around. You have to bend over. You have to do a lot of physical, actual activities in order to basically progress through the rest of the level. One of the kind of things I found fascinating, I kind of noticed a lot of games, not just VR games, but puzzle-related games to where they give you no hints in-game, no indications, no nothing. They basically just set you down in either a box or some type of level. You have to literally just figure it out on your own. And that's kind of one of the things I really liked about this game.
I thought the physics engine was kind of cool too, because it was one where you could actually pick up a hanger and like hang it up on a code rack on it. And we've talked about this before. The ability to do things with a physics, we've probably had that sort of physics capability in games for a while, but we've never been able to pick up a hanger and actually go, oh, can I hang this on?
Do you want to say it was a little bit glitchy when I was actually trying to...
Sure.
Like whenever I was just picking up things, it seems like it did have a lot of collision.
And that's been sort of true of all the games we played, I think, to some degree, although, for some it's better than others, but I actually thought it worked relatively well on this one, But yeah, I mean, you always have that issue of what if I hold an object that hits something and my hand keeps moving, what happens to the thing that's in my virtual hand,
Yeah, to be fair on the physics part of it, like even when it is sometimes wonky, like you can only do so much to improve physics because not only does it take a lot of resources, it just takes up a lot of development.
And like I said, I think it's pretty good. I mean, the fact that I can pick up an object, throw it up in the air, catch it, and then put it on a shelf somewhere, we've never been able to do that before until this, last, how long have we had it for now? 7 months or something like that.
So something like that.
So I think that's pretty cool.
What about you, Amanda? You haven't said shit yet.
I thought it was alright.
You like puzzle stuff, right?
Yeah, I feel a little jipped with the level I got though. It was it was like a fetch quest.
Yeah, so let's go through the levels in just a second. So we'll put that in like the spoiler section, because what I thought was one of the coolest parts of the game was that you didn't know what the next level would be. Am I going back to Earth? Is it going to be another futuristic world?
It did progress harder and harder through.
I think that's true too. Yeah, for sure. So let's do a rating real quick. Out of we do 5, right?
Yeah,
we do 5.
It's always 5 out of 5.
Out of 5.
What? Oh, 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Yeah. So you don't have a lot of experience with different VR stuff, but
I'd give it a 4.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'd give it like a 2.
Ouch.
I'm picky, damn it.
No, man, this was a great game. I liked it a lot. We'll give you reasons for
This
only giving
game-
it
No,
two.
wait, what's your rating first?
Yeah, give your opinion.
I give it a solid 4. Yeah, I do think some of we'll talk about the levels in just a minute, but
So
I
three
thought
of us got it right.
Some of them were strong. Yeah, exactly. Some of them were better than others, but I thought there was a lot of creativity in it. I thought the graphics were strong for what it provided. It had a good atmosphere. It was clever to put it in this world of, hey, you're dead and you're an agent being sent to different places, right? It was cool to feel like I don't know what I'm going to see next and everything else. So I think it was a solid 4. And I thought the puzzles were good. Like I said, a few weaker ones, but for the most part, I felt like I had an idea what I was trying to do, but still had to play around with the stuff in order to get to it. So.
It's because of the fire, wasn't it? That's why you gave it a 2.
Oh
It
yeah,
wasn't
them.
realistic.
I need my ultra realistic fire physics because if I can't see the individual shimmer off of
Dude,
each speckle of dust,
this is the
then
new
it's
world of
not gonna
VR.
work for
You
me.
focus too much on the graphics, dude. This is the new world of VR.
No,
it's about the experience.
It's
not. About
It's not just the graphics. The experience to me is really lackluster because it's been done before and it's been done to death. Because the Vive and the Oculus have only been out for what, like not even 2 years even, and already
Less than that, I think.
Yeah,
But-
even less than that. But already a majority of the games that have come out with it are puzzle room games. Like a majority of them
Because
are.
it works for the physics, man. We talked about this. You can't have something where you're running across the wasteland yet. You'll smack into a wall or punch the TV like we almost had happen tonight. So
not until Fallout, they're gonna do it.
There's a
Is this a rant
limited.
that they're doing?
I know.
Yes,
There's,
this,
but there's,
this is what they
there's
do
a-
often.
it's good. Controversy's good,
Yeah,
right? We don't want to do
of course.
it. It's the best sort of thing. This game would bore me if I was playing it on a PC with a mouse and keyboard. Because it'd be
Most
click on the
definitely.
drawer, what's inside it, click on that drawer. This is reaching down, pulling open the drawer, there's something inside, pick it up, oh, it's a book, is there any hint on this? Does this tell me anything? Put it back down, what's over here? Oh, there's an spoiler, mini spoiler, there's an axe shoved over here between this cupboard and this box, you know what I mean? And that's a completely different experience we haven't had.
But we have had this experience already, like about 5 or 6 times.
But they get better and better at it.
Like other games have done it better.
How many? Which one? Which one was better than this for the Vive?
Share in
so
a
far?
room.
I-
Like even that game it had atmosphere, it had a lot of character, and the
And
puzzle
also,
elements were pretty
the
good.
puzzle elements were better in this than Share in the Room. Share in the Room was better at jump scares, but the actual puzzles were a lot of, as we talked about on that review, move stuff around until you hear a noise and the next action's
So
triggered.
while they keep arguing, we're actually going to hop onto VR again
Sorry.
and just
No.
actually play another game.
So let's talk about the level. So we're getting into the spoilers here. But what I liked about the first level, for example, and this was great puzzle solving, right? And I think it was one of my favorites, although it was the first level. You're in a basement, and there's one little atmospheric moment where they go, the guy comes up and says, "There's someone up above you. Be quiet for a second." So you had this dark, dreary kind of feeling. You're using the flashlight. You're picking up a candle. But when I did it, I found the axe. Used the axe to bust open the other door. I realized there was like a picture with a keyhole. I didn't know anything about that. I realized there was like a grate. So I went in the other room. I found the screwdriver. I went, oh, the screwdriver. There's a grate with screws in it. Open it up. Nothing in there. Okay, what now? You go back. And I found like the light bulb, and it was a purple or black light bulb. You put that in, that gives you the number on the wall, but that's still no help.
Gym is close by. Don't move until I tell you it's safe again.
Then I was picking up stuff. You pick up a book, and it had called like contraptions, and it showed a candle on the wall that you would pull out, and it was like part of a contraption. So you go, oh, can I do this? Then you pull the candle, the key comes out of the grate, use the key to open up the painting. Beyond that, there's the numbers you put in, and that's what you got from. So to me, that was just a nice progression of hints that you had to figure out yourself. It wasn't jump scare, it wasn't handed to you, but everything was there, including a bunch of red herrings. And I thought that was stronger.
It definitely was
than-
a good introduction into
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
and it was letting you know it was going to work. So, and that was actually one of my favorites. I thought some of the other levels with some of the hints were weaker, but that to me was a great way to set up puzzles, and I thought it was better than Share in a Room as far as the puzzle solving aspect.
I don't know. I don't like dark levels personally. I like seeing, and I don't think the flashlight was good enough to really get a good
Yes.
grasp of what was going on in that
Sure,
level.
I agree with that. There was definitely areas where you felt like, first of all, the flashlight physics was broken or whatever, where it
Yeah.
would shine beyond objects. So that's just
Yeah.
glitchy stuff that, maybe needs to be
I want to
fixed
say
up.
that I kind of wanted to say that it depends on definitely the level.
Kill the cat,
Like
dude.
the first level, it in kind of an enclosed space where the flashlight and just kind of walking around, it really did illuminate a lot of the darker areas.
Right.
But I feel like in the third level, when you're actually...
You're all cat people. How are you all cat people?
Because look how cute that is.
It's when a dog does it, you guys think it's annoying. When a cat does it, it's the cutest thing in the world.
It's adorable.
Plain.
Go on.
But what I was saying is that I think on the third level, though, you did kind of get shafted when you were traversing in a larger space that was primarily dark. I mean, you did have kind of the the environment with the day and the night.
A quick
Yeah.
day
But when it was
cycle,
a night,
yeah.
it was completely dark, and then just the flashlight was just not illuminating
Yeah.
a lot of the spots.
And like you said, that was sort of a fetch quest. So that was the
It
third
was.
level. The second one was the futuristic one you played, right?
Yeah.
That was one of my least favorite, or Alien Planet.
I think the fourth one was by far my favorite.
That was the pirate one, right?
Actually, no. Was it the last one?
You played the last one.
I did play the last
So,
one.
so the first one's the basement.
Yeah.
The second one is where you're on the futuristic planet. It's about to be destroyed. There's like an asteroid coming down that doesn't really move, which is weird. But I thought it was cool. Like there's this catastrophe that's about to happen. But a lot of the things like building the robot. What was the point? It opened up a door, but it was like, how does this building this robot relate to the door? That one was a little more cool future technology, but it didn't click for me as much.
I would have liked it if the robot, like once you finished building it, it started animating itself.
Yeah, or
then
it got up
opened
and
the door.
it crushed through the door or something. You're like, oh, okay, so that's my way out. Then you played the water one. It was kind of a
Yeah.
weird ruins world.
It was really cool to be able to look through the water though and see these bugs crawling
Yeah,
around
there's-
there. And you could drop things in the water and they would stay down there. Like I'd pass by it again. I'm like, oh, yep, that thing's still down there.
I
That
thought-
was cool.
I thought the puzzles at the end of that one were good too, where you had to play the instrument in the right order.
That was cool, but it took a while to get there.
Yeah.
You had to do a lot of fetch quests, and when it's really dark, it
was
becomes
just-
really hard.
It always gets frustrating. Where like there's one more of these orbs somewhere. It could be under a rock, and I need to walk all around. Yeah.
And so that took a while. But once you got that done, then it started picking up. And then the last puzzle, which was that giant
There's
circle.
the pirate one.
No, the
on that
giant
one, yeah.
circle one. I mean, it can be done, but it would be really hard to get that done just by yourself without having like a pencil and paper saying, okay, these
I
are
was
what
writing
these are.
stuff down and going,
Exactly.
okay,
It would have taken me forever if it was just me.
And it's hard to do that with the
For
map,
that part,
so.
what are you supposed to do if you're alone? Like, how
That's
can
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the mask hard to do.
Yeah.
I think I solved it, but I got lucky with it. I think they actually
Yeah.
did an update where you couldn't even do that puzzle until you figured out the other stuff. Or
I think the
something.
fourth one by far though had the best interaction to where you had to use a cannon to blow
Yeah.
a door.
and
Where
that's
you
where I
had
got
to set
stuck.
up the gems and everything like that, so that it had specific, or what was it, light come in.
It bounced off and
Yeah,
made
and
like
then you
a
had to
laser beam.
reference kind of like the stars and everything like that.
There's a lot to it. And there's a
Yeah.
lot of atmosphere there with the skeleton
Yeah.
and everything else too. So the pirate ship one was cool. And then you started the very last level. What did you think of that?
Yes, I like that the most because for VR, for full kind of immersion, it had just the whole package as far as like you can look around, you can walk around the entire zone and everything like that, and it was just kind of, just the entire environment was just there for you to explore. And I thought that was
atmospherically,
yeah.
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 The only problem I had with that one is the puzzles at the end are weird. It's like you have to do the lotus position. That's what you played, right?
I didn't really get that whole
Yeah.
going down the elevator and then doing
and,
the lotus.
and there's two other ones there that I played. One where you had to just look at an object and move your head with it to get it to go from one pedestal to the other.
Yeah.
And there wasn't much to it other than that. And then another one which was actually really hard, and I had to look it up. There was a ring of stones, and you would pick 1, 2, or 3 stones, and then the computer would pick 1, 2, or 3 stones. And the idea is to be, I think it was either the last person to go or you had to force your opponent to be the last person. I forget what it was. But there was no, I had to actually look it up because there were no instructions that let you know that's what it was going to be. And then once I understood the game, I was like, okay, I think I can work backwards and figure it out, and I did. But it was a little bit like, how am I supposed to know that this is the way this game is played unless you're already familiar with it? So But overall, I thought it was just because of all those elements, the puzzle solving, the atmospheric effects. You know, Nathan, I think you did play what I think was my least favorite level. Maybe you would give it a 3 instead of a 2.
Well,
You
it
played
didn't
the
help.
pirate
Like
level or
when I
something.
looked out the window for that level, it just looked awful.
Now that was probably one of the weaker sections graphically, as well as I think actual play value.
Yeah,
compared to say those end levels
Yeah.
where you had some really cool looking stuff.
Yeah,
so,
the game isn't very well optimized either, or at least during this playthrough, there was a lot of frame rate stuttering, and I felt like incredibly nauseous whenever it did that.
It ran better for me the first time, so maybe that's some of the updates or something. And the one level in particular, the water level for me, it was dropping some frames the first time I played it. So you're right. I think there's always more optimization to be done, and you know the VR is the power.
If it had that, it would be 5 out of 5 versus.
Yeah. All right, so if we average it out, including Nathan's score, it's like a 3.75, 3.8 or whatever.
Can I
No,
put
yours should
my
write down more than that.
Can I change my score to a 1 and then we can bring that down a little bit?
Gosh, no.
No,
Already
that's,
done.
but anyway, so I recommend it. I forget how much it was. I'll put it up. But in front of you know.
Yeah, right in front of
Right in his face.
But yeah, I thought it was totally worth it, and it kind of ends on the cliffhanger, so I'm hoping there's another one. But that along with
Sequel.
the Gallery, Call of the Starseed, Chair in a Room, and some of the ones like that, I thought were just really strong games, especially if you like puzzle solving. Dude, how many first-person shooters come out? You can't just go another first-person shooter. They improve upon it, better graphics.
Have you been playing Call of Duty?
No.
Every single fucking year, it's the same exact thing.
I don't play first-person
Yeah.
shooters because it is the same, and I think at least different
Like-
puzzles, different puzzles.
Like Doom may have like I know you probably like Doom, but
do love
it's basically the old Doom with the new skin.
But
That's
okay,
it.
but a crossword puzzle is a crossword puzzle, and some people wake up every morning and want to do the crossword puzzle because they enjoy that challenge. It's a puzzle.
Yes, because
And
it
that's the value-
stays. The puzzle stays the same because nobody's trying to improve it. It's
Yeah.
it's puzzle 1.0, not going
But no, that's
Call
what
of
I'm
Duty,
saying.
Call of Duty in space, then
There's
Call of Duty
value
in Vietnam.
If you enjoy puzzle games, if you enjoy a crossword puzzle every morning, you can enjoy the new puzzle game that comes out, and that's why I think there is value in doing a game like Survive the Deus Helix, even though there's also a Chair in a Room. Because if you like puzzle games, you want a new puzzle.
But there's just so many other games that do it
I
better.
don't. Where?
Or-
What other games do it better?
Just-
You've
just
named one other.
All of them.
And
Just
again,
all of
not
them.
on VR. I don't want to play one with point and click.
So getting off the whole
I don't want to do
the
a
whole
puzzle
game
game.
for the HTC Vive, how did you guys like comparing the HTC Vive to the Oculus now that we
Oh, let's cut here so we can just
Yeah.
do the video.
Yeah, we're just
Okay.
doing a
Easier.
video for that.
Yeah.
You sound like you were getting pissed.
Let me just send it. Yeah, we should reinforce it. That's good. It makes a better video when you're arguing. This would be a better review than.
Meanwhile, we're just
Yeah.
like.
All right. I'll cut to this.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We disagree on a lot
I'm
of
gonna
these
try and
too.
just kill it right
I-
there.
I'm sorry, but I.
Is that why you guys wanted another person to kind of just end the argument?
Also, for some reason, I keep getting the urge to call you Paul for some reason.
That's
I
not
don't
right.
know
Do
why.
leave it in as a blooper.
Do I exude?
Okay.
Like
we'll end it
no,
here.
it's just
I don't
I don't know
understand.
why.
Is
I
my
just
tallness exuding onto him?
Yeah.
All right. That's all for this episode. I
All right,
highly recommend you check it out. Just remember, this is the guy who thought that the Stanley Parable is worth playing for hours. and
Are
hours
you
and
are you
hours and
seriously
hours.
gonna leave that part in? Really?
Yeah.
You dick.
No, it's cool. Let's find out different opinions. But no, I thought this was a good puzzle game. I thought it made use of the technology well.
Yep.
I understand some of the points you're making, Nathan. It's just that they're wrong. See you next time.